Hello, my name is Carl Kalm. I'm a Technical Marketing Manager at Puppet Labs. Today I want to talk to you about Red Hat Satellite and Puppet Enterprise and the integration that we've been working on with Red Hat within the two products. So to start off, what is Puppet? Puppet is a configuration management tool that automates the configuration of your systems from kernel parameters all the way up to your applications. How we do that is we allow you to write code that describes the desired state of your systems, and when Puppet runs, it compares the actual state of the system to what you said it should be. If there's any differences at all, it fixes it. So that allows you to unify your provisioning, your drift remediation, and your ongoing change management with one tool, one code base, one set of insights. With Puppet, it's all really the same thing. So when you provision a new server, Puppet looks at it and says, every configuration is wrong, so it fixes every single one of them. And then if somebody comes in and makes an unauthorized change, Puppet will look at that one change and say, that one thing is now wrong, I'm going to fix that. If you need to make a change to your systems, you change Puppet. And Puppet looks at the actual state and says, these three things, these four things, whatever you're changing, is no longer the desired state, and it fixes it. Of course, sending in reports and letting you know what it's doing as it goes, giving you confidence of the current state of your infrastructure. Red Hat Satellite is a lifecycle management tool for Red Hat infrastructure. It's an invaluable tool if you have Red Hat Enterprise Linux and other Red Hat products within your infrastructure. It enables the provisioning of bare metal, virtualized, cloud-based infrastructures, as well as laying down RHEL and other operating systems within bare metal and virtual systems. It will also manage the configuration management and drift remediation for the systems that you're managing using open source Puppet, and then also handle the decommissioning of systems fully, as well as the patch management, the errata management for your operating systems, and any other products that you're managing within your operating systems. So that allows you to go from the beginning provisioning all the way to the end, the decommissioning of your systems, all within one single product and workflow. Within provisioning, you can manage your virtual, private, public clouds. You can federate content delivery, which is very handy if you have multiple data centers across the globe. And then you can discover non-provisioned hosts by querying the network, and it will pull in an inventory of everything that you are not managing. For the configuration management, you use Puppet. It includes open source Puppet within Satellite. You define the desired state, like I was talking about earlier. It will manage that desired state and audit and report whenever any changes are made. For software management, Satellite is a errata management tool that will help manage the incoming patches and software updates between all of your products that you're using, including the operating system itself, and help you manage and get those patches out so that your systems are always up to date. Subscription management is another important key functionality within Red Hat Satellite. This allows you to centrally manage subscription usage, report on the subscription consumption, and basically manage all of the different repositories that you are subscribed to. It's made up of 5 main components. You have the configuration management, which is Puppet, provisioning, which is the kickstart process managed within Foreman, Pulp for your repository management that helps manage the errata management, Catello for the lifecycle management, content delivery, and then Candlepin for subscription management. So as I was saying, Satellite 6 includes open source Puppet as part of every Satellite subscription. So within every capsule, you have a Puppet master that then can help manage the Red Hat Enterprise Linux clients, which will also have a Puppet agent installed. However, we've had a lot of customers coming to us saying that they want Puppet Enterprise for all the great things that we get, and as well as using Satellite for the great things that it does, such as provisioning and errata management. So how do we use the two together? Well, with Puppet Enterprise, of course, you get the great Puppet apps. So you get application orchestration, configuration management, code management, node management, etc. And of course, you get great modules and integrations. Puppet Enterprise has a fantastic partner network so that you can manage not only your Linux and Windows servers, but also the devices, the black boxes that are traditionally in your data center, and pull it all under one tool, one team, one code base. But you can also manage things like F5, MS SQL. These are the modules that are exclusive to Puppet Enterprise, so you have to be a Puppet Enterprise customer to get that management capabilities. We also offer configuration management heterogeneous support. So with Red Hat Satellite, Red Hat is focused on managing Red Hat Enterprise Linux and other Red Hat infrastructure. However, we find a lot of customers have other things as well. You're probably managing Windows. You probably have AIX, maybe some Solaris, some Scientific Linux. We can help you manage all of that. And as far as OS provisioning, a lot of times if you have other operating systems, you need to provision those operating systems. So not only do we help manage with Red Hat Enterprise Linux with our satellite integration, but we can also help you lay down Windows, SUSE, ESX, and any other hypervisors as well. So when you put the two products together, there are some main tasks that you want to cover. For operating system provisioning and the agent installation for Puppet Enterprise, that is very clearly on the satellite side. That's what satellite does great, and that's what we're going to let satellite do. We're going to leverage its strengths to be able to take care of those tasks. Role assignment is something that Puppet Enterprise has worked very hard on, and we have great support with our rules-based classification system, our trusted facts support, so that you can automatically go from agent installation to full deployment in a single step. For configuration reporting and inventory reporting, both Satellite and Puppet Enterprise have really great support for this, and we want to be able to leverage both. It doesn't make any sense for the data to only be in one product. So part of this integration is allowing both products to consume the data that the Puppet agent is producing. Both of the configuration reporting of the changes that are being made, hopefully nothing, but as run reports come in, Puppet Enterprise will consume them and then send the data back over to Satellite so that you have them in both places and you can use both products as you expect. How it actually works is we start off by setting a content view in Satellite 6, which mirrors the Yum repository that's hosted on every single Puppet master. So the Yum repository on the Puppet master is what houses all of the agent RPMs. So when you upgrade your Puppet master, you are upgrading that repository as well, and all of the new agents are available to all of your systems, but a lot of times you want to roll those out in a phased approach. Well, Satellite's really great at that. So we can have the content view mirror the new packages as they're coming in from a Puppet Enterprise upgrades, and then work those packages through the content view workflow so that you can have a dev test prod cycle. After that, the PE agents, you go in the Kickstart scripts that Red Hat has developed for Puppet Enterprise configuration, lays down the operating system, deploys the Puppet Enterprise agents, and configures them to talk to the Puppet master. As Puppet runs, it's sending in reports and facts. Facts are the inventory information. And they're sending it into the Puppet Enterprise master so that it can get its catalogs, it'll report on what's happening, all of that great stuff that Puppet Enterprise is good at. But then what Puppet Enterprise does is it takes all that information using standard technologies such as Fact Terminus and the report processor that we've written for this integration, and sends it both to PuppetDB, which is the backend storage for Puppet Enterprise, but also sends it over to Satellite 6. So as I was saying earlier, the information is available in both places. So let's take a look at how this actually works. If we come over here to Red Hat Satellite, we can see that we have a host group. And I've named this host group WordPress. And when we go into it, what we have here is we specify the name, of course, and then the operating system that we want to lay down within this host group. We also have some parameters over here that are key. We have a parameter called PE Puppet CA and PE Puppet Master, which I have given the host name, the DNS host name of my Puppet Master as the value here. And if we go over to one of our hosts, we can see that we have a host called WordPress.delivery.puppetlabs.net, and it is in the WordPress host group. And if we go in here, we can see that we do, in fact, have all of the system's facts available to us. And we also have the reports from the system coming in so that we can stay up to date from here, from this view, of what's going on this particular host and as changes occur. Now this is great because you can understand the state of your infrastructure depending on whatever context you're currently in. If you're working within Puppet Enterprise, all of that great information is there, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you're in Satellite and you need to do a quick check, you can do that from here as well. Most importantly though, if you look at the templates for this host, this is inherited from the host group, and this is the template that is used to install the operating system as well as configure the Puppet Enterprise agent, and we can see that the template is the Satellite Kickstart default with Puppet Enterprise. And if we go down here towards the bottom, we can see that what we're going to do here is pull in a snippet, a Kickstart snippet, that sets up the puppet.conf file, and lays it down on the system so that the Puppet agent knows where all of its where the Puppet master is and how it needs to report into it. On the Puppet Enterprise side, we can see that we also have this WordPress.delivery.puppetlabs.net host. It was checking in, and we can see that it did in fact experience change. So part of the great reporting that we have is event inspection, and we can actually come in here and look at all of the classes, which are the roles within Puppet, all the different roles that were experiencing change. For example, we can see that this WordPress class did experience a change on one host, and we can come into this and see all of the individual resources within this role that experience change. And we can even dive into one of these. So this MySQL database experience change, and we can dive into the specific change itself and see this is the where in my Puppet code I have declared this resource, and we can see that this resource did not exist and Puppet dutifully created it. And if we go back to our host, we can even pull up the graph, which is the representation of the configuration model for this host, and see where all of the changes are occurring in relation to the rest of the configurations model. So we can actually look up that particular resource we were just looking at, the MySQL database, and see that it's located right here. And we can get all of the same information that we were getting in Event Inspector from this view, but more importantly, we can get the context that it is within the model. So we can see that this MySQL database was declared within this define type, which was declared within this define type, which was declared within this class. This class actually is a Forge module, so when I downloaded it and used it, it just worked as expected, but when I want to understand where things are changing and how this module from the Forge actually works on the inside, this is how I can do that. Instead of trying to parse all of the code, all I have to do is look at the model itself and quickly understand what's going on. All right, and that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the demo. If you have any questions at all, you can go to puppetlabs.com/solutions/redhatsatellite. Thank you for your time.